paying attention at all. So,
exactly.
I definitely have that mindset as well. So from a warm and cuddly conversation to a little more serious, we've all been recently in tune and aware of the different flights and things going on with planes that have been a little shocking and traumatizing to many, especially the people who don't fly, and for people who do fly, even more so because you never know. So while I always wish people safe travel and mercies, it's a little, it's a little tough to see the things we've been seeing, and with the frequency we've been seeing them. So I guess if I'm just gonna cut to the chase and be blunt, how do you handle seeing some of the things we see from a news standpoint with all these different planes and crashes and just the craziness? I don't even want to.
It's the same thing I'll say with the flight attendants being recorded. Social media heightens things
for sure.
My thing I have to do is I pray to God when I'm working that I'm safe, and I take it one day at a time.
Okay.
I take it one day at a time. I make sure that I'm up to date on what my role is if an emergency or a situation like that was to happen. And I make sure I keep up to date with those things.
Right.
And I will leave people with this. At the end of the day, you still are safer in an aircraft than you are in a plane. There are so many things that go into place before that aircraft can take off. There are so many things that the pilot has to do. Air traffic control, the people on the ground, the flight attendants. And you'll be surprised what the smallest things are that they'll say, nope, that aircraft's not getting in the air. I also tell people, take a moment and think. If we showed every car accident that happens, you would never get in a car.
I love
and
that.
The other thing is with the car, when you get in that car, people always say, oh, I like driving because I'm in control. You're in control, but what about the person that may slam into the back of you or run the stoplight? Even with airplanes and how they get inspected, you don't get an inspection, every 3-4 months? If something breaks in that time, what's the likelihood of you getting it fixed right away?
Right.
So I always tell people, just be mindful of that. And whatever your spiritual or non-spiritual choice is, do what you need to do to calm yourself. But my number one rule for all these things is please listen to the flight attendants. When we're telling you to do something, it's not because we feel like we have power. It's because all these things are put into place based on years of research and things. And don't get me wrong, yes, unfortunately, there can be accidents that happen, like the one in DC where that unfortunately was just a freak accident where there is no control of saving anybody. But with the Endeavor situation, yes, you had a few minor injuries, but all of those people made it out safe.
Yeah.
And the most upsetting thing that I saw from it was the amount of people that needed to record that moment.
Yeah.
Like, this is a life or death situation. What people don't realize is when something like that happens, we have 90 seconds to get everybody out of the aircraft, no matter what size it is.
I ain't gonna hold you. And again, I want to preface by I've never been in that situation, so I don't know what I'd really do. But I'd like to think, damn, pulling my phone out. I'm trying to make sure this thing don't blow up, and I'm trying to get the hell out of there.
Yes.
But that's me, so.
But I'm like, I finally watched the video.
Okay.
And I'm like, I saw so many people. I'm like, why are you recording? This is like life or death. Like, we need to get you out.
I'm sorry, I'll record after I know I'm safe.
Yeah, exactly. But
I get it.
Your phone, please sometimes just tap into life.
Right.
And my number one rule is if the flight attendants are telling you to do something, it is genuinely for your safety.
And you said a lot of amazing things there. But my first thought went to when you brought up the phone. It's crazy how many people will know that, if I get this moment recorded, I'm about to make bank from social media. I'm about to get bank from the news outlets. It's so crazy that the monetary value we see in that moment when our life is crazy.
But they don't think about the downfall. Like that moment that you took to get out your phone, you may be blocking somebody behind you that doesn't move as fast, and now they're holding somebody up.
Or
that could have been a moment that you could have took to help somebody that needed a little bit more help to get out.
Yeah. So shout out to the individuals or the attendants and everybody.
Yes, they did a good job.
In that situation. And the other thing you said that I loved was you hit the nail on the head, because I wasn't asking that question in regards to like try to deter people from flying or anything like that, but I wanted the perspective of someone who deals with it so often, so frequently, because I feel like we allow so many people who don't have the necessary experience or education to dictate our terms and mood about a specific thing. So for me to, and again, to be honest, I haven't. I mean, if I the cheapest and the fastest is still what I'm shooting for when it goes to my travel. But having your level of knowledge and expertise means the world, because now it gives me more context, and it's more valid context, as opposed to listening to people who have no idea. They're just saying their opinions, spitting out whatever they want to say to skew people's thought process and mindset. And I feel like we're getting so far into that world where everybody has a platform, so everybody's gonna say what they think and feel, but there's no context, there's no substance, there's no research, no education, no analytics. There's no substance other than, oh, I just want to say this because this is what I feel, and I'm gonna just say it. And you have that right, but keep in mind, you don't know who listening who will now take that and run with it,
push that narrative out there, what they're taking in. And a lot of people, that's the quickest way to get people, is to allow them to live in fear.
For sure.
Yeah, and there's so much out there that's a lie, but so much out there that's the truth. And you do have to take that time to dictate and weed and see what's real and what's not.
And then the last thing I was thinking as you were speaking is, you are just as polished and well-spoken and versed as I remember you back.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That comes from the airline. They beat that into you.
And no, it tells that, it's a level of training that many would, love to have and be polished in. Is just being able to articulate your thoughts and say it in a way that's understanding and meaningful and impactful. So kudos to you, because that is definitely a skill that many don't have.